Welcome to the Billionaire Belief Show. This is Dhane, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Today's topic, the fundamentals of producing income. Why that topic? Well, at the end of the day, income is the lifeblood of our wealth creation journey. Without income, we're dead in the water. We're spinning our wheels. We aren't really going anywhere. So today I just want to talk about first what income is, the three types, and then we're going to kind of dive a little bit into each type of income, and from there, later episodes, we'll kind of dive into each one individually. The goal is I'm going to bring on some guests to help us discuss these three types of income, I should say, and just give obviously some better perspective, and also too obviously new stories are always great. So let's talk about it. So income. Three types. What are they? More often than not, growing up in school, this information isn't passed down to us. It isn't handed to us. In some circles, it's by design. In others, it's not, because that's what the school is there for. That's what they'll tell you. But all in all, income, and we live in a capitalistic economy. We live in a capitalistic world. We live in a capitalistic society. Money makes the world go around in regards to getting the things that we want and we need. At the end of the day, money is the lifeblood to our survival. I'll say money is the lifeblood to the standard of living and the quality of our survival. It is mandatory at the end of the day. It is what it is. That's the way the system is set up. You're allowed to feel how you want to feel about it, but that is the game. So with any other game that we experience in our time here on earth, it's about understanding what the game is, figuring it out, and then excelling at it. And so for you, as you go through your journey and your walk in life, and as you decide to want to build wealth, producing income is going to be a major component of that. It's going to be a major activity of that. Because the game of wealth, defined, I should say, is the activity and the process of producing income. So building up your income line items, figuring out different ways you can earn income. And we'll talk about the three types in a little bit. But you want to be able to produce income. And then once you have produced that income, then you want to obviously save some of it so that you can invest it for growth. You want to use it as a means of protecting your future self as well as your family and generations from life happening. So your investments, in a sense, that those represent future generational wealth, income protection for your loved ones when you're not here, because nobody wants to go to work at the end of the day, but we understand that we have to take care of our families, and we don't want to feel scared and afraid because we don't know where our next dollar is coming from, which is going to allow us to buy that meal, to be able to pay for that rent and or that mortgage, to make sure that kids have decent health care, make sure you have decent health care, make sure that you're able to afford quality garments so that you guys can be able to go out into the world and do whatever it is that you guys want to do, from sports to hiking to dinners out, whatever it is, whatever your thing is. You feel me? Like we all need this money. We all need it to allow us to be able to afford the quality and standard of life that we desire for ourselves. And so it's really improving your relationship with money, improving the way you feel about it. That's where you have to begin. When it comes to income production, you have to get comfortable with wanting more and not feeling guilty about it, because guilt is that invisible barrier that is unknowingly keeping a lot of us from moving forward in this department of our life. We just feel bad. We feel guilty because we're comparing what we have to what someone who has less than us. And the reality of the situation is, and that's what life is all about, ladies and gentlemen, reality. It is what it is. Now, I say it is what it is from within the context of reality is reality. If you put your hand over fire, you will get burned. If you do not work, you will not eat. The only caveat is, yes, there are government public programs that will allow you certain benefits and resources. And yes, but I'm talking specifically to able-bodied individuals who aspire to build wealth so that when it's all said and done, they're old, they're past their working years, and or they're untimely death, or in the event of a catastrophic injury, now they're permanently disabled and or mentally disabled. Whatever happens, you as a man or you as a woman want to know that your family will not have any sort of financial distress, no financial burdens, because you took care of that department. And so this is who this message is for. That is who this message is for at Billionaire Belief. So going back, producing income. Income is important, ladies and gentlemen. And so you just gotta have to work through your own stuff to get out any sort of sludge and grime that you have in your money department. But at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be the best version of yourself, because obviously by becoming the best version of yourself, one of the byproducts of that is going to be an increase in value to the marketplace. And in return, they will reward you with higher fees, higher salaries, higher returns, which means at the end of the day, more money in your bank account, i.e. a major bank account. And that's what it's all about, baby. You feel me? It's about building that major bank account. So let's in our heart and in our mind, let's really dive deep into our financial department and do some cleanup. We have to really evaluate the lessons that we learned as children from our family, as well as the lessons that we've learned from the dominant society, the status quo about producing income. Because like you and me growing up, at the end of the day, we're all told, the formula is simple, quote unquote. We were all pretty much told this story. Just go to school, get good grades so you can go to a good college, and then get some more good grades so that you can get a good job. And with that good job, you're going to be able to buy a house. You're going to be able to start a family, get a wife and kids, or, get a husband and some kids. And then you guys are going to be living happily ever after. That's the dream that most of us are told as children. And so for some of us, that's why we chose or decided to, quote unquote, do good in school, while we decide to accelerate, because we ultimately misinterpreted the message. We didn't really understand what we were being told, unfortunately. And the irony of it is the people who were telling us about it really didn't know what they were saying. But it was said. It was written, as they would say. And it was what it was. And when it came specifically to income, it was always go get a job. And then if a person had a job, it was like, well, go get a good job. And that was basically everyone's lesson. That was our financial education, quote unquote, air quotes if you were watching me, but that was our financial education. Go get a job. And we were told that the more education that we have, that would mean the better job we would get. And so that's why we did what we did. You feel me? Like we some of us excelled, you know what I'm saying? Like we were high performers. And but as we learned, once we crossed that graduation stage and had to enter the real world, or maybe before that, high school for some of you. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't allowed to work when I was in high school. And by allowed, I mean that I wouldn't have been afforded the means to be able to have a job. I.e., if my mama said I can't work, but I decided I'm gonna get a job on my own. Well, if I'm out when I'm not supposed to be out, then where am I at, for one? And then two, like, how am I gonna get back in the house if she changed the lock? So my mom didn't want me to work. It was what it was. But that was still part of my financial education, because she said, let me worry about the money and you just worry about getting good grades so you can get into a good college. And then once I got into the quote unquote good college, it was just like, we'll focus on making sure that you have the resources to, make sure you stay enrolled and you have, a decent living. And we'll just, but at that point I was just like, screw this, I gotta get it. I gotta get something for myself because I want to do more than what the monthly stipend that they were giving me. And so boom, that was another money lesson that I was going through. Like I basically realized that, I wanted to do stuff. I'm in college, so I wanted to go out with my friends, the movies, spring break trips to Mexico. If you're listening, you've been to college, you know what I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, I needed income, just like you needed income. And so like naturally, most of us just thought, I just need to get a job. And so going back to the 3 types of income, getting a job, that's called earned income. So when we fill out that W-4 and we get a W-2 at the end of the year, earned income. So that's what I'm talking about right now. Most of our education about how to produce income revolves around producing earned income. But that's only one type of income. But most of us never learn this. And that's unfortunate. That's a travesty. Most of us never learned that there's actually 2 more ways of earning income. Now, here's the funny thing about that. We don't necessarily get taught these other 2 types of income that we can earn, but we always hear about it and it's always right in our face. Because we're watching the movies, we're watching the daily media that's talking about such and such celebrity made X amount of millions of dollars for this role. And we're seeing, on the stock market business channels, this stock went up, Facebook this, Amazon that, Apple this. And so we're seeing this stuff in front of us and we're hearing all these foreign words and we're hearing people tell us how hard it is. And so all this information we're absorbing it, but based upon how we're all conditioned at the end of the day, just for being a human being, it's just in our nature to naturally, go for the lowest hanging fruit. And getting a job is what is advertised as the lowest hanging fruit. And so based on the lowest hanging fruit, then there's like levels to that, you know what I'm saying? So then you have the good job, you have the bad job. But all in all, a job is earned income, where you're basically getting a W-4 and a W-2. That those are the basic financial documents that you're going to have to fill out in order to get that good job so that you can earn some income. So now that you know, and let me take that back. We've already known about earned income. So let's now talk about the other 2 forms of income that are available to each and every one of us out there. It's just about us, once again, knowing what it is knowing what is at our disposal. So the next type of income that I want to talk about is called portfolio income. And portfolio income is the type of income that you earn from owning assets, such as paper assets. And paper assets are stocks, they're bonds, they're notes of some sort, anything that has a future value on it. And the actual income that you earn is what is called interest, for example, from your bonds, and then you have dividends from the stocks. And throughout the year, you will get payments for just owning pieces of paper. And in most instances, in this day and age, it's just words and letters on a screen. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Portfolio income. That's another type of income that we can earn. And a lot of quote unquote rich and wealthy people, that is their primary source of income, portfolio income. They own so much stock. They own so many bonds. They own so many notes that it affords that the interest and dividends alone allow them to afford the type of lifestyle that they're living. And so they live. But that's a type of income that we all have access to. It's just about, once again, learning how to play the game and realizing that in the short term, yes, there's going to have to be some sacrifices made. You know, you are going to have to put some time into learning how to do this stuff, and then setting up the systems and that are going to allow you to generate it. Or if you just save some money, you can eventually invest in someone either showing you how to do it, or invest in somebody doing all that work for you, so you could just more so operate. But at the end of the day, portfolio income. You look at a guy like Warren Buffett, for example, his Berkshire Hathaway. You know, he owns a significant share. So, I mean, it's more than likely a majority interest in Berkshire Hathaway, obviously. And, you know, through that holding company, you know, that's how he manages his investments in stocks. Specifically, he invests in stocks that pay dividends. So every quarter, every 3 months, every month, more than likely, you know, he's getting dividends, and then he's putting those dividends back to his shareholders. And that's easy income to earn in regards to, you don't have to trade any time for your money. You don't have to trade any time for money, because you like, once again, you own an asset that is producing the money for you. All you have to do is just tell them where to send the dividends. That's it. You fill out, they send you a piece of paper for you to put your account number and your routing number on it, so that they can send you your dividends. And that's all it boils down to. And so you have an opportunity to earn portfolio income, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a matter of if you're willing to put the work into it and get past the guilt of wanting to be better, as well as, you know, the learned helplessness, I would say, in regards to, like, I can't learn this, or I don't have time to learn this. Like, get out of that mentality. Break yourself from it. You know, because that's all it is. It's just an idea in your mind. You just haven't been able to separate what's really happening from the emotions of what you think is happening and will happen. So, like, once again, that's what they say. It's in wealth, success, whatever you want to call it. It's an inside game. So you got to get past it. Now, last but not least, passive income. That's the third type of income. Now, the biggest difference between passive income and portfolio income is that passive income is more so generated, I would say, on a more consistent basis. For example, like monthly as opposed to quarterly, as well. And it comes from owning. It comes from owning assets. So it comes from owning an asset like a business system, or all of the stock of a business system, and then you've hired a management team to run your business for you. But then every month, in a sense, like I said, you either get a check because of your quote unquote position in the company, or you just take a check at the end of the year, you know, pay up in a sense, kind of like dividends in a sense. But passive income comes from owning things like rental properties. It comes from owning things like, once again, a business franchise. So if let's just say you owned a Subway franchise, every month, you know what I'm saying, whatever's left over after paying your lease, paying your labor, and then paying your operating expenses, whatever's left over after that, the net profit, that's all you. And last but not least, what's like I said, you can own a small, your own dry cleaners. You can set up your own dry cleaners, and whatever's left over, that's all you. And so, with the ultimate takeaway from the fundamentals of producing income is you, understanding that you have multiple options, and B, understanding that you have the skills to produce the two other types of income that you didn't even know about. And 3, it's going to take the same amount of time. So all the time that you spend worrying about how you're going to produce portfolio and passive income is time you could be spending learning how to produce portfolio and passive income. But once again, you're going to have to get past the guilt of wanting to better yourself, as well as the embarrassment that you think that you're going to endure for asking somebody to help you. So get past that pride or whatever you want to call it, however you want to define it. You feel me? Like, you got to get past it and know that there's people out there that want to help. A lot of them are going to require that you pay, but some of them aren't. And the reason why the people require you to pay is because they have ascended to a level where they realize now that that time is the most valuable asset. So they don't want to, so their time isn't anybody's to fuck off. So that's why they make you pay, so that you can have some skin in the game, so that you are present on that call or in that video session or at that event, on that face-to-face. They want to make sure you're there. No distractions, 100% focused. And so that's why they make you pay. But it's going to be well worth it, because once again, like I said earlier, paying them allows you to steepen your learning curve so you can accelerate the process, as opposed to just trying to figure it all out by yourself. Now, I've done it both ways. I typically lean to trying to figure it out myself because A, I want to go through the process, and B, I want to be able to share what I find about the process with others so that they can go past it. Go through it a lot smoother, get from point A to point B a lot faster. But all in all, that's the major takeaway from producing income when it comes to the fundamentals. And the fundamentals, once again, you got to earn, you got to produce. So you're either going to be, if you're going to get that job, and this is the thing you have to understand now, ladies and gentlemen, about a job. We'll say this before we wrap up, but and this is something that I'm personally working through. Myself. It's like, I work at a company that's a service-based business, and so we generate income through selling a service. So we have to contact people on a monthly basis to remind them that a service is due, so that we can come out and perform the service and send them an invoice so they can send us a check or call us and pay with a credit card. And then we use that income to, obviously, once again, pay our rent, pay our insurances, pay all of our certification fees, pay our labor, and whatever's left over is there for the business owner. So that's passive income for him, in addition to the quote unquote check he gets for his title or job at the company. But all in all, I'm already engaged in the activities of selling a product. But the question is like, I can either sell the product for somebody else, which is perceived to be a lot more safe and less risky, as opposed to selling the product on my own, which is perceived to be a lot more risky and less safe. But the reality is if you are willing to show up every day to sell a product for a company, then why can't you show up every day and sell a product for your own company? And once again, that's something that I'm personally working through right now to once again, to ascend, get to the next level, and really, accelerate my progress down the pipeline. But it's just like, you just got to get over the mental hurdle, and you get over the mental hurdle by just doing it, just getting involved. Like, start asking questions, start reaching out to people, make use of that Instagram, reach out to some of these business, these finance, and these investment pages. You feel me? Like, find out, how they're doing it, figure out what you want to do, and then reach out to people who are doing that and just ask them for help. Have something of value to give them, or if they're asking for something of value, negotiate accordingly, but go out there and put the work in. But once again, to recap, to wrap it up, passive income. Not passive income, but the fundamentals of producing income. There are 3 types of income that you can earn. The first kind is earned income, the second kind is portfolio income, and the third kind is passive income. You earn earned income by trading your time for money. You own portfolio income by using your money to own paper assets that allow you to earn money, such as interest and dividends. And then lastly, once again, you use your money to build a system that generates money, period. And that's it. That's the fundamentals of producing income. And those are your options. That's all you have at your disposal. You have more than enough time. Yes, most of us will start off in earned income, but in order to add those other 2 types of income, it's just going to be us getting in the game and realizing that in the short term, yes, I'm going to have to be focused. I'm not going to be able to go hang out with the homies. I'm not going to be able to go, watch my favorite TV shows and go to the movie, whatever entertainment. I'm not going to be entertaining myself. I'm going to be enriching myself and empowering myself so I can earn more. Period. So it's just a mind game, and it's about you getting in that game. So, fundamentals of producing income, ladies and gentlemen. I feel good about it. I hope you feel good about it. And I hope you got some incredible value from it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. As always, you got the comment section below. Drop me a line. Let me know what you think about this. I would love your feedback. If there's some topics that you'd like for me to cover or something that you think I should dive a little bit deeper in, like I said, let me know. I'm doing it for you. What I'm learning and implementing and learning from, I'm just coming here to share with you on the Billionaire Belief Show. So, as always, follow us at BBWCN on Instagram. While you're there, make sure you sign up. Make sure you go get your free copy of the Financial Education Study Guide so that you can obviously have that. That's some good game for you, just the basics once again. And then from there, be on the lookout. I got some real incredible products coming your way. Something to help you save more money. A system to help you save more money, I should say. A system to help you invest more money. A system to help you ascend. A system to help you get to the next level. So be on the lookout for that. I plan on dropping something for you soon. And as always, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I love you. Make it a great day. Peace.